Hello everyone, it's Holly. The Lord has been showing me, sorry about that, some awesome revelation. Some of you may know that this symbol is what I type in when I'm either on Facebook or on YouTube with a comment. Anything I do, most of the time I usually put this symbol, which is the fish. I've owned a business and the Lord had me insert the ichthus, which is the fisherman of men. And last night, or early this morning actually, he showed me, he wanted me to take the fish I always type in or write, and this is what he wanted them to do. Kiss. So I drew this, and then he showed me to take the two fish and overlap them. So he wanted me to make the two to become one, and this is what it became. Then he showed me to take a line and to go through the center of the image he showed me, and then he showed me on top the W and on the bottom the M. Okay, let me show you. There's the W, there's the M, and he also showed me to half the image right here, which is the X, on the other half the X. Okay, and then, like I said, he showed me the woman for the W, and then the M for the man, and he also showed me the XX, which, being a 5th grade teacher and teaching heredity and mitosis and meiosis, I've had to teach 5th graders what the chromosomes stand for as far as the sex of the person. XY is for male and XX is for girl. Okay? And he told me the verse, or he made me think about it, what God has brought together, let no man separate. Separate, divide, put into pieces. So he was also showing me the first covenant and the second covenant becoming made whole, which is the law and the prophets. Now, this got me thinking about, he's actually had me thinking about this for a while now. He's been showing me the 5th commandment. Thou shalt honor thy mother and their father. Well, we know who our father is, which is God, but this question has been on my mind for a while now, and he's, like I said, been showing me, who is our mother? If we have a father and we know who our father is, then who is our mother? Okay? Okay. He told us that he's going to create a new heaven and a new earth. But if we go back to Genesis 2nd chapter, 26th verse, and read, it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish and over the sea. I added fishers of men, that's just my thinking, and over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So, I've heard other people say before that, oh, that our is talking about the Father and the Son. But what he keeps showing me is that the mother, who is our mother? And could this possibly be in our mother's image? So I dug a little deeper, and he said to man and woman, be fruitful and multiply and replenish. Replenish the earth is the end of that verse, and it's replenish is fill with persons, animals, or to fill with power. And subdue it, he says. And that means to get control of it. Okay? Okay, guys, I want you to think of something. We were created, or man was created, from dust. Okay? And we know that we will go back to the dust. So, this is kind of, it's not a whale first, but this is what he was showing me. He was showing me the earth, and then he was also showing me because he speaks about it in Genesis 2. He talks about how a mist went up to cover the whole earth. That way the plants and the seed-bearing plants could have life. And this also took place before man was created and before the beasts of the field were created. This mist came up. So it also talks about how when Eve ate of the apple, or of the tree of good and evil, God told her, you're going to bruise the heel. The serpent will bruise our heel, but our foot will bruise the serpent's head. Don't look at this as being a whale first. I want to show you what he would show me, and then I added all this afterwards. But could the serpent be the earth? Because I did look up. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on one second. Okay, right here. It says the serpent was more discerning, subtle. Discerning, if we're able to discern, we're able to see and understand people, things, or situations clearly. So if the serpent was able to see things clearly and understand, then in the beginning in Genesis, he talks about how man has become like us, able to know good and evil. So I'm just thinking about this serpent, because it talks about how the serpent will eat dust all the days of its life. And again, like I was talking about the heel and the head, we walk on the earth, and tree and seed-bearing plants come out of the earth because of the mist which God created. And so this is just some thinking going on. And also, a year ago, the Lord showed me 28, and then recently he showed me 2 and 8, and connecting the 2 and 8 on the clock. And then also, he's been showing me 2 8s. And this is how he's been showing me. Here's the infinity. And then he's also shown me one on top of the other. There we go. Just like how the 2 fish were kissing and became one image, or the 2 became one. This is the same thing that he's showing me with the 2 8s. Okay? And what this represents is the whirlwind that's taking place. You have your hot air rises and your cold air sinks, and this creates the whirlwind. Okay? And let me see. Let me show you. After I did this, then he showed me this. Because he also brought me to, let me see if I can find it, the rib. He talks about how he took the rib out of Adam. And when I saw the rib, I thought of DNA. Again, like I said, I teach 5th grade. So I knew that DNA stood for, I'm not even going to pronounce it because I never get it right, but I knew that rib was in that word for DNA. And it's, I'm not even going to try. But what DNA is in all known living organisms. DNA, it's the instructions how to function. Okay, and then he led me to break down some of the different types of the nucleic acid. He's also been showing me that the rivers is flowing out from Eden is like our blood, and our heart is to the east. Okay? You have different chambers that go into the heart. One set of blood flows in, and one set of blood flows out. Veins in your arteries. Let's see. Okay, here's where I was talking about earlier about what happened after they ate of the fruit or from the tree. Enmity. God gave them enmity. He said, the seed of the earth and the seed of the woman, it will bruise the head. Speaking of the serpent, which in my understanding, what he showed me is earth, and earth will bruise the woman's heel. The woman's sorrow is to bring forth children. Husband will rule over woman. Okay, a lot of that's been taking place about the childbirth. Adam, the man, is cursed, is the ground, and he says, this is for your sake. In sorrow you shall eat of it all the days of our life. Okay? And the ground will bring thorns and thistles. Eat the herbs of the field. This is a lot like what he's showing me about earth. And he is showing me that earth is our mother. And he's been showing this to me for a good number of days. And I'm going to show you how I understand this. Okay, I want to apologize for the messiness. This was coming at me really, really fast, and I was writing what I was seeing. Earth is made up of 71% of water, and man is almost the same, 70% of water. And then if you think of earth, think of the exfoliation, the oxidation, the erosion process in rocks. It's definitely mirrors the aging process of man. Think about your skin follicles falling off, your hair falling off, your just the gravity of pulling down upon our bodies and our skin. We also have our biochemical recycling, and then man, we have digestion and respiratory. Let me just get this on something real quick. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to keep this picture on here, and I want to talk for just a second. Think about all of our systems. We have the carbon, or the nitrogen cycle, where plants and animals, we get our energy and our carbon from the things that we eat, and from which the things that we eat actually get their energy from the sun. We eat different animals, food, plants, herbs, and we're releasing that nitrogen back into the actual earth through our digestive system, and then the cycle repeats itself, and then the plants and the animals actually take in that nitrogen, so it's a cycle that's taking place. This cycle is within us, and it's also within the earth. And then think about your circulatory, which is your blood. Think about all the waters, how it goes through different filterizations. Let's see, we got our nervous system, earthquakes taking place. Same thing within us. Earthquakes can take place between our synapses of our brain and our mind, and how our neurons could connect. Same thing with Earth, our Mother Earth. And within His Word, He talks about being born of water and blood. Water, every life form comes from water. And once our heart becomes whole, and He's changed our heart, and He's come to live within us, we're born of this new blood and this new wine, and we soar from that point on. I mean, He begins speaking to us. This right here is something that He has shown me and shown others also that's filled with the Spirit. He connected this for me with the 2 and the 8 on the clock, and He also connected the 10, which is completion, and then the 4, like the 4 beasts. There's a whole bunch of different things with 4. And then He also showed me to connect the 12 and the 6, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. And this is like the Holy of Holies, or the Tree of Life. It's being guarded by swords in every direction. But this is representation of 6, and we know that the beast system talks about 6, but we're of the 7. So where is that last sword? Right here. And that last sword, we can be pointed like that, or the sword can be pointed like this, and the sword is pointing back at us. We actually have the sword within us. The Ark of the Covenant is within us. He dwells in our temple, which is our body, and he lives and sits on his throne, which is our mind. And we are the new heaven. Instead of us going up and out of the waters and out of the earth and going up, he's coming down to us. Just like in his word it says, only the one that goes up is the one that comes down. So, sorry, I had an interruption. So let me see back what I was talking about. The kingdom, the heaven, we're the new heaven. He's creating the new heaven within us. Instead of us going outward and up, he's coming back down to us, and he's creating the new. He has created the new earth. We are the earth. We are representation of the earth. We're made in the image of our Father God, but we are also mirror image to the earth. All the systems that go on in our body are the same systems that go on within earth. And it's like this because of our DNA. Right here, our DNA, the nucleic acid. It's a double helix. This is the infinity. It's within our DNA that we have life. He made life. And also, let me show you this. When I drew this, after I drew this up here, he was showing me some other things, and I accidentally did the DNA wrong, which then it made me think of something, but that the Taurus, the bull's horn. So the beast is the bull, the cattle. Just as, let me get back to that page that I showed you in my first video. In the 6th day, God created the beasts, the cattle, the creeping things of the earth and the sea. And he also said, let's create man in our image, the image of God and of our mother, the earth. Okay? Once we see this, that instead of us going from earth, which this is the representation of earth, and each day he created something, and it has its opposites each day, but he created, and if you want to see this video about this drawing right here, then go to my first video. It's the 7th day. That's what it's titled. But anyway, instead of us going from the earth outward, from earth to heaven, from the sea to earth, from the living waters to the air, from the darkness to the light, now he's coming down as the light, and we're going in. So these actually flip. We were beasts. We became the man and the woman that we're supposed to be with the Holy Spirit to get to the Father, which in essence is the 7th day rest. It's complete. We become a whole circle. We become one with the earth because we're made in the image of our mother. So the first half of the commandments, 1 through 5, the 5th commandment doesn't belong on the right-hand side with all the other commandments with loving others. The 5th commandment belongs on the side where it's talking about God and respecting God. And the 5th commandment is, thou shalt honor thy mother and their father. And once we understand that everything's connected, we become whole. It's a complete picture. It's what he wants to see. The kingdom is within us now. We used to be in the waters. We used to be the sea of people. This is another drawing that I drew a while back. Whenever he showed me this mist on 6/14. He's been showing me the mist for a while now. Here's what I was talking about as far as earth. Here's the sea of people. If we cut earth in half and look on a projective level as far as straight on, the bottom half, which the reason why he showed me this was connecting the 2 and the 8 and the separation of the dark light, sea, land, water, air. Everything is a duality. That middle line that I connected with the 2 and the 8 from a year ago when he showed me in a dream he gave me, that middle line is Jesus. He's the middle that connects, that brings us up to the top. And now it's actually going this way. But we come out of the sea, become one with Jesus, and go straight to the Father. That is how we keep the seventh day holy. That was the first drawing, and it was very, very messy. Okay, here's the seventh day. Our one of the commandments says, remember, keep the Sabbath day holy. Holy. Just so happens my name was Holly. So, we need to stay in this day. This is the day that we're living in right now, when we become one with our Father and our Mother through Jesus. Okay, before I let you go, I wanted to show you one more thing before I leave. If you see, again, this is representation of the earth, or we can even say this is how he showed me. The sun, half of the moon, and the stars coming down. But the sea of people, the people that's still drowning in the water, are the ones who have not understood that Christ comes within us. This is, like, again, the eye of the needle. This is the middle line. This is the middle section, the narrow path that we have to go through. Come out of the sea, which is 70%. Come out of the sea, go onto dry land. And if this is the middle line of the separation of the two, is like the mercy seat, where Jesus, which is Christ, sits. Okay? Once we get him, then we're able to go up to the top where God is. There's a spark that takes place between God and us. This line, actually, I drew it wrong when I did it. I realized it afterwards. This line should go like this, not up, but down. Or actually, yeah, we go up, and the spark happens, and God's revelation comes down to us, and we kind of kiss. Okay? And here's the stars, the sun, the moon, and the stars. These are the signs. And, okay, and I wanted to show you this since I was talking about it earlier. Even though I was drawing the earth and the mist that was coming out from the earth, I didn't have the face on there, but then it reminded me of the whale and the blowhole and the mist coming out of, or the water coming out of the whale, like with Jonah. And the Lord said that one sign that will take place, as it was in the day of Noah, which talks about the water and the people drowning in the sea, and then also Jonah in the belly of the whale, and he comes out through the midst. Okay? Mother, the earth, birthed man, because we came from the dust, which is of the earth, and the mist of the water is from God. So our mother and our father, the water and the spirit and the blood become one. Okay. I believe that's about all. Let me see if I missed anything. Again, just to recap, I just wanted to say that our father and our mother. We become one with our father and our mother. What God has joined, let no man separate. New heaven and new earth is within us. He's made all this happen. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Love you guys. Blessings.